right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. You are still tuned in to Funtastic Fridays in the segment called Talk the Ting with Kim. And this week we're discussing how to repair a failing marriage. So what we've discussed so far is, first of all, decide if the marriage is worth saving, right? So the very first thing, right? And then after that, if it is that you believe so, then ensure that you commit to saving the marriage. Divorce is not an option, and that has to be a mutual decision between both partners, right? Can't be one, as I said earlier, it can't be one yes and one no. It has to be two yes. Can't be a maybe and a yes, a no and a yes. Boy, I'm not sure. Check me back next week and a yes. It has to be two yeses. That divorce is not an option, and no matter what, enough to work through together to fix it, and they're going to fix it, yeah? So, on to point number 2. So that was point number 1, commit to your relationship. Number 2, communicate regularly and effectively. So, knowing how to save your marriage largely involves working on communication. It's one of the main components of maintaining the type of deep connections that let marriages last forever. In the age of smartphones, Netflix, and work from home lifestyles, it's easy to get distracted. You might find that you often go days without having a real conversation with your spouse. And you need to actually start talking with your spouse openly about your interests, dreams, goals, feelings, even about what frustrates you. Don't forget that half of communication is listening. Allow and encourage your spouse to share everything they hesitate to tell anyone else. So that's another thing. You need to work on the communication, ensure that you communicate regularly and effectively. Because you see them little update there. Remember for pick up the kids, you know. Oh, you know, some have work till 6 today. Oh, you know, those updates, those are updates. That's not a conversation. You need to have a conversation. You walk on with the day, you know, you look at the outside. What happened today? You know? Oh, same thing, same boss has stressed you? Whatever it is. You have to keep up to date with each other's life. Right?
What I tend to realize about myself and majority of the women that I interact with is that sometimes you don't really want a solution to your problem. You want somebody to listen to you and validate what you're saying.
Exactly. And you need to know your partner to
right,
know that.
It's not that we don't know what we should do. I don't want you...
I mean, that's why I'm vent right now. I know I can't quit the job.
And it's like...
But...
You know the girl that took up my bag, my lunch bag, and she took up your lunch bag? Yeah.
You just want a listening ear
We
sometime.
want a listening ear. So... Men, take notes.
Take notes. Jada is dropping gems, right? And she's dropping... Oh, Jade, is that gem? Is that gem? Jada dropping jades? I don't know. So, and then... tip number 3. Blame the situation and not your spouse.
Ooh.
Yes, I know. Dropping gems. One of the major differences between happy and unhappy marriages is whether someone attributes a problem as their spouse's flaw or a temporary situation. Those who view problems as a temporary issue rather than blaming their spouse are typically happier in their marriage. When it comes to placing blame in a relationship, it's almost always easier to see the faults in our partner than in ourselves. One of the problems with couples pointing fingers is that usually both parties are right and both are wrong.
Wow, Kim, you mash up with this.
Yeah. Every person is full of flaws,
English,
and most times when we attempt to defend ourselves, this causes us to push our partners away. So, as we said earlier, blame the situation and not your spouse.
Yeah.
So this is just a hurdle that you guys now have to overcome together. You guys are a team. You see, the minute the team start argue inwardly between, the game done. Because they can't work together. Right? And then just basically about to play the game because the match you're not gonna lose it.
Choose the problem.
If we don't work together and say, all right, guess what? We have a huge problem. But right about now,
not me.
I want to work with you to fix the problem here. And we'll get much further than to say, the problem is your fault.
It's your fault.
If never you,
if you never
and you sit down and you're building, and then the situation for women, we start listing, so remember everything, And as teams are from October 2021, you did do that. And say, we never noticed the thing in 1990, say you do that too, and you start build up a case against them. No, that does not help anybody.
Yeah.
So you need to learn to blame the situation and not your spouse, right?
All right.
Number 4. Eliminate the 3 A's and the R that ruins marriages.
The girls that my name start with A and R.
The 3 A's are addictions, affairs, anger, and the R is resentment.
Ooh.
So, as I said, eliminate the 3 A's
I said the girl
and the
number A,
R
yeah.
that ruins marriages.
So give us them again. The 3 A's and R. So triple A R. Go
Let me see if
again.
we can list
Anger,
anger, affair,
Addiction,
Addiction.
and resentment.
addiction includes what? Drugs?
Any type of
Anything.
addiction, anything you're addicted to,
Sexual
right?
addiction, all them something.
Yes. So these can be
To
deal
candy.
breakers. Many marriage professionals suggest ending your marriage if your spouse has these 3 A's, but this piece of advice, well, the A and the R, but this piece of advice isn't quite what it sounds like. What they mean is end the old marriage and build a new one with the same partner. Yes, easier said than done,
Yes.
but it is possible. So build a marriage if it is that you're already experiencing the 3 A's and the R. Build a new marriage
How you do that?
where there are 0 affairs. You have to basically let go.
So you said this guy will
forgive,
put in
let
all of
go.
that.
put all that
We
to
keep on
rest.
a meeting and say, listen,
Yeah.
We'll
as
fix
of
this.
today,
We're not doing this ever
Then
again.
Starting
have a
afresh.
I will not.
consultation.
Yes, a
right?
conversation. I will not bring this into the new marriage neither.
So it's like
In
a
other
new
words, so no
year,
new affairs, no new addiction, no. So if you
and
if
no
you have a-
old one coming back.
Exactly. Right? Yes, and I get it. Right? So build a marriage where there are 0 affairs, addictions, excessive anger, or resentment, and instead work on growing your love for each other and your unwavering trust. So as I said, easier said than done, because
Yeah,
so
that's not
basically
worth
forget
saying.
everything and start from
I know,
scratch.
work
You know.
that and then a one day thing.
But you know the funny thing is, also couples end up doing that now. But you know how them do it? They break up, move
Come back
on,
together.
and then years down the line, you know.
Let's
We
give
could
it a
try it again. And then
think you're the
technically,
one for
it's
me.
like a new marriage.
And then kind of that is sometimes a better way, you know, because that kind of, you see when you take a break from the person, in a sense, when you're having that problem and when you break
Yes.
up, that kind of
You have time to realize what you're losing.
reset certain things in your mind.
Reevaluate. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Was everything I was upset
It's-
about valid?
It's still not foolproof.
You know,
though.
foolproof now, but I
Oh.
realize how couples do that. If
Yeah.
you check it out, couples who are together
Yeah,
now,
life
they were
sometime
together back
deals that
then,
card. Yeah.
and they just call it quits, and then decades down the line, I know somebody as well, her parents broke up from she was a baby, and now she was late 20s, and they got remarried.
And here's another thing too. Sometimes we might be in a relationship and we claim so we're not happy, or we might be seeking other things.
Yeah.
And probably because it's a good while you haven't been in other relationship. So you can break up with the person now, get in a new relationship, realize, say, wait there. The person we did with was very
way
much
better.
more reasonable and more
And that
sensible and,
happens.
understand certain of your madness. And you say, you know what? If I get the chance,
If
I'll
me
give it a
did
try
know,
again.
and then you start go back, boy.
Sometimes
you know?
life teaches us that way.
And that tends to happen a lot,
Yeah.
right? So eliminate the 3 A's and the R, the addictions, affairs, anger, and resentment. Number 5, kiss each other more. Very simply, no. Kiss each other more. Yes, I want the vex, right? So
That rough, you know, you might get a pinch by your lip.
So kiss it. Well, then bite them lip, not rough.
Hey! Whoa! Kimmie getting steamy
But
in
I'm
here.
just saying, you see this physical touch thing, it changes stuff.
It
so,
does actually. Even a hug. I realize
Even
that
if it's a hug when you're
somebody's
vexed.
angry, I mean, it's very rough to go in
to
for
with
a
the hug.
when they're
But when
angry.
you get it,
But when you do hold them, sometimes
You
they
sort
release,
of
and
release
them
some
start
stress.
bawl and all these things.
exactly, and you get softer in your
Yeah.
speech towards
It's rough.
them. So
It's
you
rough,
start saying,
but
so you
trust
did
me.
vex before and you're at each other, you know, and then somebody come and say, all right, baby, you know what?
The
And you start
key-
hug up.
the
and you
key
say,
there-
boy, babe, all I was saying, and you start changing. All I was trying to get across.
You know
is that
say-
me-
you know
and
say me do like there's something
so,
there.
exactly.
But
I mean,
guys-
I really want to vex with you, you know.
guys and
That's what
ladies-
happens.
Guys and ladies, this method, people, it still asks you to be gentle. You can't grab up the person like
Yeah,
you
we're
hug them
not forced.
warringly. Gentleness is the key here, people.
Exactly,
All right? So
as
even with the
2Q
kiss,
said,
or
yes.
the hug, or the holding a hand, still be gentle. You know,
Actually,
grab them up.
there's a new trend on TikTok, I realize, where couples are arguing with them nose touching.
Face to face.
Face
Yeah.
to face. So their nose touching, and you're like, well, and then because it's just funny and
They
it's
laugh.
weird, they start laughing it off. So
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden the argument is no longer there.
Yeah.
But you still can talk it through, you know? So as Too Cute said, yes, touch is nice. So
Hey, too
kissing,
cute. Careful over there.
kissing or touching your partner when you're angry might make you, you know, you might
Calm
want to
down a
shrug it
little.
off first, but it will also be worth it. Being physically intimate increases the positive experiences between you two. And while it doesn't eliminate negative experiences, it gives your marriage something good to hold on to. In successful relationships, there are 5 times more positive experiences than negative ones. to 5-1. Right? If you want your marriage to thrive and not just survive, for every bad experience your marriage faces, try to create at least 5 good experiences. So if you're not argue today, try to create 5 memories tomorrow.
5 kisses.
Right? Can be kisses, can be like, babe, I want to go
5
lunch
hugs.
video. Or you know what? Let's have a movie night. So, we stay in, we buy popcorn, we watch movie at home. Create 5 good memories after every bad experience.
get physical.
And it helps, right? Let me see what Too Cute said, but in the movies, the man just grabbed the woman and kissed her.
Don't follow the movies, people. Very,
And then-
very risky business.
And then Quilly said, that passionate grab, so you know what's going to happen next. Ding, ding, ding.
Jamaican
Gonna
woman
happen,
always
really.
play that game there. Now tell you.
And then
what's gonna happen
Too Cute dropping some tips. Too Cute said, don't go to bed angry can be a tip.
Well, that's a risky one as well. but
I've been seeing variations to that, and I think we're going to get into that.
some of them seem forced.
Some of them, they don't force it. Don't
Yeah.
be like, you know what? Well, for talk, so
Don't
before
go
you
to
go
bed
sleep.
angry, kiss. Nah. Bye.
Because some people
I'm not
actually,
angry anymore.
for me, I had to learn that. You see, I'm a person that if I'm upset, I want to fix it quick. So before it even gonna further, if you walk off, I'll come to you and say, listen, I could talk this out and fix it, so and so and so. But I've learned that not everybody deals with problems that way, and
Exactly.
me doing that can annoy somebody else who don't deal with it that way. Some people actually need time to
Some
process,
people might need to sleep on
cool
it.
off, get logical about whatever they're thinking, then them can link you back probably later the night or the next morning, boy. All right, I've some stuff. This is now a level-headed version. So I agree that don't go to sleep upset, but maybe you need to have like a conversation before to say, all right,
If
we're not
it-
sort this out, but find a way to appease the situation a bit at least.
Here's
Then
what-
they can talk about it.
Here's my tip. Try not to begin the new day upset. So
Exactly.
if you know say you're the good one in the partnership, or you know say you're the one
You're
that
the
kind of-
calmer one,
you're the
well,
more
talk
calmer
it
one, or
out.
the one that's more on the level side of the thing. So you try to wake up, get breakfast ready, and them something that nice up the person. So when they wake up, when they start on a good foot. Nobody wake up with the problem. Person see all of the things them all over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The same problem from last night
Yes.
still there when they wake up.
And then Maurice said, don't keep malice. So that's how we say resentment
Exactly, yeah.
that needs to be
Silent
fixed.
treatment, 5 years.
And Too Cute said it's a biblical principle though, Kimmie. And I agree.
No,
now.
we're not saying
But what
no.
I'm saying is that
But what-
I've learned that I can't force people to talk when they're not ready.
Exactly.
You're going to automatically either start an argument or you're going to push them to react in ways that they don't necessarily want to react because they're just not ready to talk. I had to learn that the hard way, right? Let me just teach y'all. But you can probably say, all right, listen, I give you some time, but we don't want to go sleep before we can talk about this. So then the person understand that you're waiting and we're not going to sleep until. So probably that's a different way to work around
When they say,
it.
give me a minute, let me clear my head.
Exactly.
You go out there, the person drop a sip my coast. Yeah, wait. No, we are second this before you go sleep.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
As I said,
so
it's a good thing, but trust me, don't force it though. That's what
don't
I'm
force
saying.
it, right? So it's not like we're gonna talk this out and fix it tonight.
Yeah.
You know,
You're not
No.
asleep.
I don't think it can be literal, but also not so literal.
No, that's what I'm saying. Don't take it.
Don't
literal.
force it.
Don't force
So
it.
as I say, I'm the fix things as it happen person. I've learned I can't force it on everybody. So
I
now I've
know.
learned to see if I Jada, I'm vex it, I find if Jada is a fix it person same time or if she want to fix it tomorrow. I can work with that.
I've learned
right?
to accept people are different. That's one of the
Exactly. So I had to
if
learn.
you can do that, trust me, you kind of get through some of the rough things that people face. I've learned people,
Right,
when I
just
see people
like-
do things, I look at them and say, yo, people that's different here. And that's it.
Bombastic
That's
side
it.
Exactly.
Nobody stress out yourself sometimes.
Right?
We're not all the same.
Exactly. So another tip number 6 says share financial expectations. So many marriages are burdened due to disagreements over finances. Yes, money is a big problem.
Yeah.
So couples often bring different expectations about money to a relationship, and each partner can find it difficult to see the financial situation from the other person's perspective. Coming to an agreement about how your money will be handled is a critical component of a successful marriage. So agree on a budget, decide on your approach to things that you owe, your debts, and make a plan to live within your means. It's also important to differentiate between needs and wants.
Boy, this rough for the ladies
While
and the
both
men.
are legitimate, couples can face problems if they try to fulfill all their wants without considering their budget and prioritizing their needs. Incorporate some flexibility as well in your budget to allow for entertainment, gifts, vacations, and other activities, as this will also strengthen your marriage, right? So, hold on. Too cute said, boy.
If you don't want me cross, don't wake me in my sleep.
If me asleep,
trust me,
exactly.
No people, trust me, sleep. Hey, when you wake somebody from them sleep, it's a very risky situation.
The conversation is not even going to go good.
But Kimmie, you mentioned something there about the finances.
Financial expectation. Because a lot of marriages break up because of finances.
And here's what happens, people. If you don't really reach the point of marriage, please, me I beg you, at that point, it no make no sense, so no keep no secrets.
It no make no sense.
Secret money over here, so secret loan you take out here, try pay before
your partner know.
And wife I wonder why bank a call and all them stuff.
Or the wife a shop and buy all these things knowing to them have bills and the husband, but she see the cute shoes and she want the shoes.
Trust
and I think it cute, it not that cute.
It's a rough.
When money owe and it need for pay, it not cute. Right? So as a couple in a marriage, you guys have to work on that because finances is a big problem. Actually, I watched a show the other day and it was saying money is like the most taboo things for most couples. They don't talk about it because they're not comfortable talking about money. Nobody wants to talk about their debts. Nobody wants to talk about whether it is that in most relationships, they might have one that's a spender, one that's a saver. That's already a problem because almost every time the spender spend, the saver go vex. And every time the saver tells the spender, say, no, we don't have money for that, the spender go vex. So we need to have a conversation. Is it that my brother in his marriage, them have a budget and each of them have a budget to spend, right? In other words, them a lot, an amount to each of them. Nobody asks questions about your $10,000 for the month or your $20,000 for the month. That is yours to spend however you wish. Budget fees, it fixes so many problems if you can, right? But if you have certain debts together, I say, boy, babe, I best we just cut back on all the going out and eating out and all them something because we have this credit card bill. Work together on it, but you can't make a one-side decision. That will break up the marriage, literally, right? So I need to work on it. Too cute say, me know a man right now, him say him get increase and him don't let him wife know. Problem that, imagine when the wife find out, my pre-him different from that. Exactly. And the wife I go pre-him different because me your wife. I get an increase and you not tell me that?
No, but here's the thing I know. You see now you can tell something going wrong already. You know,
why you not tell your wife that? So them have problems already.
That's why you see when you have them things there, you know say something going wrong with the relationship.
Exactly. So that's something that y'all need to discuss.
Some people just hang in there.
Just stay in there because we're married.
Yeah, them not in it. Them just hang in there.
Alright, so tip number 7, give each other space. Yes, this one, it roughy because consider divorce or not, consider say boy the marriage rough, but not say give each other space.
Absence make the heart grow.
Not that kind of absence. That sounds like a ship for the person.
Too cute, so he says she loves to spend. And yes, we understand that, but still communicate it. If you have a problem for spend, you have to have a discussion. Say, babe,
you know, so get a raise, but right now the money there goes straight to the other account.
Exactly, or more on the more saving. And then if you compromise,
go to the partner
conversation, you know? Yeah. That's really it. It's conversation. Partner, but if you keep that secret, the next problem now.
And then find out by the way.
And then find out. And then
she go find out say him get the raise. So that's what she go start. She go start spend other money or take out other loan cash. She not tell him say she find.
Not even that.
It's a downward spiral.
It might be that she will find out say him get the raise. She not see the raise are coming out of the house. So where to go?
Where is it going?
You realize the problems.
Where is it going?
Clearly I guess somebody come. I see coming out of the house, but I see more things about so
what
you create more problems than you need to.
So
if I say you have boy, babe, me get an increase, but we realize that we're spending sort of overboard. We need to work on something, come to a compromise. That is the solution there, right? So as we say, give each other space. One of the hardest things to balance in a marriage is the right amount of time to spend together. Too much can feel like smothering, while too little can be interpreted as inattentive. When your partner needs space or a night out with friends, offer to watch the kids or run the errands to ensure that they can get that time. On the other hand, you also want to make time to spend with your partner. If babysitting issues or financial constraints make that difficult, plan a fun, cost-effective date night at home. The key is that you both make a concerted effort to spend quality time together while also allowing each other the space to have an outside community. So them need to have them friendship, them need to can go hang out with them family and feel like, oh, you leave me at home, you're gonna hang out with your brother them. Every Saturday you hang out with your brother them. Probably is a thing between them. It's a tradition. Every Saturday, the brothers get together. Whatever it is, you guys need to give each other space. So as Too Cute said, space is necessary. I love my space.
So I want to just itch up in the house like not furniture. Why don't I want to go out, man, get some looking fresh air?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that also helps the relationship because
Of course.
sometimes the more you spend time together, the second time say COVID caused no divorce because y'all just didn't have any space. Y'all had to be in each other's space every second of the day.
And not only that, you see, when you gather, you see, every time when you do everything together, right? Sometimes you're not gonna have nothing new for share to the partner.
Exactly.
But when you go up on the road now, you pass two shops, you come back to her and say, hey, you didn't know what say, they open up the place over there, so. But
Yes.
you wanna go everywhere together if you
But no new news for no each other.
So you have to go somewhere by
Exactly.
yourself one time, man, and come tell her how it go. Yeah.
And on the note of going somewhere, tip number 8, have date nights. And this is so important. Even if you're married for 50 years, you need to be having date nights.
I hear
You
a
need
rose
to actively
on the way
date
home
each
from
other.
work.
Actively dates.
Turn up a turn.
So another way to keep the flame burning in a marriage is to continue courting your spouse. Like you still try to get them.
Yeah.
Try to make time for a date night every week, even if it's just to get ice cream or cook a new recipe together. If money is a concern, consider trading babysitting with another couple looking to have a date night. So if you have to some friend, it's all right, guess what? I'll keep our kids, my kids, your kids, una go out. And then when you already know, all right, Jada, guess what? Keep your kids and my kids so
Switch,
we
yeah.
can go out. So if money is a problem, work on it that way, right? So you can also put the baby in a stroller and take a walk around the mall or go to the park. Continue doing the things you did when you were dating. Many couples report that small, thoughtful gestures help them feel like newlyweds. So try leaving your partner little love notes where they will find them. Make them coffee in the morning or buy their favorite snack at the grocery store.
Just leave the message on the ice cream in the freezer. She must go there.
Also, it's easy to get into a routine of being overly comfortable and overly casual, especially if you've been with your partner for many years. So an easy way to rekindle romance is to think back to those early days of dating, preparing for date night with an at-home manicure or getting a fresh shave and haircut and choosing a nice little outfit. So in other words, fix up yourself.
Keep them on them toes.
Exactly. If you're married for decades, buy a new outfit. So him not still a dress here yet. All right, me know him like the color red. Me go buy a red dress. And I'm going to say, babe, we are go out next week. And I'm going to see the dress for the first time.
Hey.
Gentlemen, I said, boy, you know she like me in a long sleeve. I go wear a long sleeve because I know she like how me look in a long sleeve. Do
like
little
how you
things
look in
like
white.
that.
Hey,
or
you
if you
know,
like
hey.
the color white.
I know you can make them look
Nice
bubbly
and
to
white.
sometime because they say, honey, I'm not going to be here later, okay? I'm going out on a date.
Uh-huh.
And she say, we do, you must be bright. I said, go put on your dress. I put, yeah.
Exactly, right? Or even before you reach home, you're like, honey, I lay out the dress on the bed. I put the shoes there, get ready by 7. I'm picking, and I live at the same place now.
Exactly.
But the man said me, I'll pick you up at
I'm
7.
going to go next door. I'll pick you up when you get ready.
And if I'm probably left from work, I mean, if you can get ready with him clothes at the car or something, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I'm going to take you out. Did I make a song?
Or you pull a little fast one. We're going down the road and you have your dress now. Yeah.
Exactly.
James
Right? As Dana said, space is good. I see my husband every weekend because of work. And it feels like a new experience every time I see him. So yes, I definitely miss him. But I said Friday night is coming. Right? So I know we're running out of time, so I'm gonna just mention the next 2. Forgive quickly.
All right. Nobody hold up nobody.
Yes, marriages often fall apart when one person is holding a grudge. So the need for learn to forgive. And then the last one, find help. If you feel that you put in a lot of effort, but you're still falling short, the marriage still rough, when I really can't figure it out, then find external
Yeah,
help.
get local
Can be a
counseling.
counselor,
Yeah.
can be a pastor, anybody you trust. Sometimes you need a new perspective or professional advice. They have things that you can try together, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, marriage is amazing, but it comes with hard work. Your relationship will have ups and downs, as all do, but the way you work together to overcome your challenges is a big difference between a marriage that fails and a marriage that succeeds. To persevere in the relationship and prevent divorce, both partners need to commit to doing the work and putting in the time and efforts. So, guys, that is it. Tips to how to save a failing marriage, right? How to repair it. So, guys, if you loved it, let us know. Tune in next week. It was a great show. Thank you all for the feedback. And Too Cute said, good tips. Thanks honks.
All right, guys, we're going to take it out with this one. Have a fantastic weekend. People, Fantastic Fridays, no good again.
She just a rock a body pan me, so